That's my personal.
So you gotta have it. He may like light skin women. He may like light skin women. He may not like some. I may like dark skin women. You know what I mean?
Dark skin women are beautiful. Honestly, you know, I don't know what kind of composition came together to make that happen, but I guess the amount of melanin in your skin, you know, if you have a lot, you look good. You have a little bit, you look good. But I mean, I love dark skin women, you know, I can't lie. I cannot lie.
I feel like, you know, when you hug a dark skinned woman, it feels better. Like the way your skin feels against them, it feels better. Light skinned women, you have to give more of yourself and be somebody else sometimes. Look with light skinned women. You know, you gotta like perm your hair or something or cherry curl it to get it with a light skinned female.
Let's say, I'm using chess for example. Given a test with a multiple choice, there's not really a wrong answer, but I prefer light-skinned women. Always did. Most of the women from the South where I'm from are light-skinned. I'm from Shreveport, Louisiana. But with me, like I say, it's the person. Because you can, you know, be beautiful or whatever, light-skinned, but then if your character is not right, then I think and look at you different now just because of your character, and I assume they would do the same with me.
I remember going to school, like, in kindergarten, and my aunt, who was kind of like, you know, helping babysit me, said, okay, when you go to school, go there and find you a girlfriend that's light skin, long hair, and clean underwear. That was her advice to the 5-year-old me going off to kindergarten. And I thought it was funny, and I thought it was, you know, whatever. I was like, okay, I understood, I could see the light skin, I could understand, I could see the long hair. My whole thing was not the light skin part, but like, well, how am I supposed to know that she's got clean underwear?
I feel like because, you know, I was dark-skinned myself, and, you know, for two dark-skinned, very dark-skinned people to get together, you know, it's kind of a, in society, it's almost a taboo sort of experience. It's taboo. You know, two dark-skinned people coming together, well, then the child is going to be dark-skinned. That's what the assumption is. So, you know, I don't know what it was. I think it was just my rage against the norm. You know, dark-skinned guy is supposed to be with a light-skinned girl. I just never believed in any of that.
I remember my uncle said, if you caught me with my arms around a white woman, I'm holding for the police.
Ideal for me, man, is dark skin. I'm a dark skinned brother. My daddy's dark skinned, my mama's dark skinned, and I want my kids to kind of look like me. So I want my kids to be dark skinned, and I want my woman to be dark skinned. Matter of fact, a woman is dark skinned. Honestly, a woman to me is a woman, first and foremost, for sure. But if I'm going to sit there and be with them day in, day out and all that, I kind of want to have a little resemblance of myself, skin complexion and the whole whatnot, you know. So.
I went to Africa once, to Senegal, and they allowed me to come in and host the first Miss Black USA pageant ever held in Africa. It was like 3 years ago, and I'd never been to Africa. And I got there and I saw myself. I saw me walking all over the place. Except, I mean black, I mean real black, blue black, double black. I ain't never seen black. So it made ink look like it was black, kind of black, you know, but fabulous. I was blown away by the beauty of this black skin. So I'm sometimes confused when I hear women who have really dark skin who tell their stories about how their hearts were broken when they were told they were ugly because they were black. Because for me, it's about whether you accept it or not.
If I had a choice between a dark-skinned girl or a light-skinned girl, I would choose light-skinned girl because I feel like a light-skinned girl is in between. You know what I mean? Like, if a girl is dark, then she's dark, and then you have a white girl. If a girl is white, she's white. But if you have a light-skinned girl, that's in between. I'd rather have one that's in between.
Some people maybe subconsciously who just like don't want to mess with dark-skinned women. Maybe they feel like when they see a dark-skinned woman, they just like there's nothing to her. Almost like maybe it's like, oh, she must be from Compton, or maybe she got an attitude, or like certain stigmas that already are pegged with black women already inside of their own mind that maybe they don't even see when they're doing it.
I mean, there are all kind of women. You know, going through that, I see how certain women carry themselves. To me, more dark-colored women, they do have low self-esteem to a certain extent than light-skinned women. Because light-skinned women feel like they're more closest to white, so they feel they're special.
Have you dated a prostitute? Nah. Yeah.
What not?
She wasn't a nice person. I think it ain't too many dark-skinned girls that are nice. Why do you think dark skinned girls are not nice? Like when you're a dark skinned girl, I feel like you go through certain things that light skinned girls don't want to go with. So as far and those things are bad. Like you might you trying or something like that, and you might let that anger out on the wrong person, no matter who it is, because that's something somebody said or did to you because of your skin color.
A young black kid coming up in America is looking at maybe Kid and Tamara, the twins, that's super light or high yellow. And he's like, man, that's from him little coming up saying that white is clean, white is pure. Then when he gets older and of a man, then he starts to realize, even white men start to realize that dark ain't really what is the dirt, the bad, the dark night, the alley. That dark in a lot of cases is kind of good, kind of sweet, kind of tender. The darker the fruit gets, the more ripe, the more sweet it is. You know what I'm saying? So the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. That's where the whole term comes from.
You are married to an African American woman.
Yes, I'm married to an African American woman. I remember distinctly a conversation I had with my father when I was in elementary school, where I went up to him one day. Of course, I didn't understand everything that has to do with racism or race relations at that point in my life, but I did realize that I was attracted to, in more than a social way, women of all ethnicities. And I remember distinctly going to my father and saying, Dad, would you mind if I did marry a black woman one day? And his response to me was, as long as she looks good, I don't care what color she is.
If you ask me if it was like a conscious choice to pick a darker skinned woman versus like a lighter skinned woman, for me, not really. It wasn't an effort to go find the deepest, darkest chocolate sister out there and get the full-on, for real deal, straight from the motherland. And I didn't think that defined blackness to me. You're not more ethnic if you're darker. It's just, that's how to be who Joni was. But when you look at her, there was nothing about that color of her skin that defined her. And that's not for everybody's experience, but for her, it would define that way. So that's what I think was attracted to me, was that strength.
Brown skin, dark skin, whatever you want to call it, complexion I would more be attracted to that because, I don't know, it's like a natural color substance, something of their genes.
More pure.
It's pure, yeah, it just feels
more organic.
It's purified,
I'm a vegetarian.
And I'm a veggie, so.
Another reason why I can't see myself with a light-skinned woman is because I want dark babies. I want my babies to look like pharaohs, or like queens, and they not going to look like that if they light-skinned, just me, my opinion, I'm being real ignorant right now.
I think sometimes we are afraid
At least he know he being ignorant.
Stuff that we really need to talk about. I think what would make the relationship better with black men and women if they would just take the time to have honest communications. And I think sometimes we just don't.
About when I get old and wrinkled. I ain't old and wrinkled yet, but when I get old and wrinkled now, don't throw me away in the corner now. I got that skill and still got it.
No way. I mean, 2 people part of my team.
Thank you. You know what? I asked God when I was in I think I was like 11th grade. I asked God, because I consider myself back in the days, I didn't have no good feeling about my looks and stuff like that, I thought I would have never, ever found a husband that really appreciate me without abusing me, I thought I was too dark for, anybody. Because mostly back in the day, the light-skinned girl had all the junk. They had all the junk. And like all the boys was going to them, and I played basketball, I ran track, I was a majorette. But still, they weren't interested in me. I guess it wasn't my turn. My thought in my mind that I thought that nobody want me when I got a teenager, I thought, well, I ain't gonna try to, talk to this boy. I ain't gonna let no boy talk to me, And I just got on the mean side. Boy say something to me, I'm ready to fight. If they touch you, they'll walk by and touch you behind. And I had one. and I was just fighting. They just really thought I was a real mean girl, But I had all this built inside of me. And then when I went to the doctor, he said, "Why you got your graduation ring on your wedding thing?" I said, "I'd never get married." Then he said, "Why are you saying that?" I said, "Cause I ain't gonna never get married." And I wouldn't answer him, but I wanted to tell who on me,
When I was younger, I remember being in junior high and I had a friend. I don't know if we both liked the boy or he was just a friend, but his father told him, I remember he was in the car, I was in the backseat, his father was like, "You shouldn't talk to the mud duck." The mud duck. And so in my mind, I always think like, if I could just be like, just one tad shade lighter, then I would probably get more guys who would be more interested.
I never did. I went to Cancun several years ago. It was 4 of us. There was 2 of us that were dark and 2 of us that were fair skinned. But when I got over there, I had the men all at my feet. I got a proposal. I got gifts. I'm like, what is going on? And they would tell me, "You have such beautiful skin. Is that your hair? Did you dye? Is that your natural color?" Black folks look at me like, "She's just black. Why are they tripping so?" And it's really questionable to me. Why is it that they think that I'm so beautiful and my own people don't see any beauty in me at all?
My experience with black men has been, I'm exotic, I'm beautiful, they're fascinated by me behind closed doors. But when it came to dating, coming to the front door, taking me out in public, doesn't happen.
I definitely feel that black men treat me differently because of my skin color. And that was something that I became privy of in college. I joined a sorority and I'd go to a lot of social events. And I noticed for most of the black guys in my age group, like late teens, early 20s, I was invisible. But some of my friends who, a lot of them were light-skinned or mixed, they would just make a beeline to them, just knock you down. So after a while, I'm like, well, I'm invisible to the people here. I don't exist because I wasn't fair-skinned.
The darker you are, it's more of a sexual approach. It's more of a relationship without much meaning sort of approach than it is, I could get married to that woman and have a few kids.
I'm very shapely, so I get a lot of men who look at that as being strong or someone they just want to be intimate with. But I'm not willing to allow myself to be toyed with in that way because of the stereotype. She's shapely, she's dark, okay. It'd be great to have sex with her, something like that, or she's strong, or she can have my babies, or she's strong. As opposed to go out on a date.
It's this weird correlation with a darker man wanting a lighter skinned woman and a lighter skinned man wanting a darker skinned woman. More and more I start to see this as a pattern amongst black relationships. It's very rare that you see 2 black people who are of the same skin tone together.
I have a problem when black men say specifically they will never date a black woman. I have a problem when anybody says they will never date one particular group because that's just being closed-minded. It's especially hurtful when a black man says that to me because A, either you probably came from a black woman, B, I am a black woman, C, if you have a daughter, she will be a black woman. So you really need to analyze your statement when you say, I would never date a black woman. Why wouldn't you date a black woman? And a lot of times they're usually reflective on that person's shortcomings than it is on shortcomings of black women as a whole.
I have a relative who married a white man 25 years ago, and she used to wear hair like mine, straight and everything, and I noticed that she started wearing the natural. She didn't wear the makeup. He liked her natural beauty, which when I see is like, you need to straighten your hair. But he loved her the way she was.
White men seem to revere the black woman, whereas a black man seems to have I guess it's more of a maternal reverence instead of like a goddess reverence, I would say.
My experience with white men, I just have to just, put on a cute outfit, do my hair, and let's just go out. I don't have to worry about what it costs. I don't have to worry about anything. Just show up. There's not a control issue. It's just like, you're a princess for the day. But in my heart of hearts, I want to marry a black man and I want to stay married to a black man. And I know that there are black men out there that can offer that very same thing. But I just think they're like in prison because of their own personal struggles.
I have girlfriends who dumped their men because they have always had this sort of insecurity about him cheating on her or leaving her for, a lighter skinned woman. I'm so over that. Like, truly, the day when the shades of color don't matter, that'll be the day.